Well, that certainly was a hockey game. The Vancouver Canucks once again stink up the room at Rogers Arena with yet another regulation loss. The Vancouver Canucks have dropped a 4-2 defeat at the hands of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and honestly, this game was decently winnable. Okay, decently winnable. The Canucks had a 2-2 lead, and then they just completely lost it, and ultimately, we can talk about two things that led to this game slipping away from the Vancouver Canucks' fingertips. It's like the Sandman when he wakes up in that, the sand chamber in Spider-Man 3? He tries to grab onto the locket, but as he grabs onto it, it slips out of his fingers. It slips through his hands. It slips out of his grasp. That was this game. Because the Canucks had chances, actually, to win, but they did not take advantage of that, and in the first period, we saw ourselves a quick start to everything Vancouver had going on, because they actually had a double minor power play on Brandon Hagel high-sticking Quinn Hughes with blood. So, double minor for high-sticking. Quinn Hughes had to get stitched up. He actually returned to the game with the fishbowl on his head. Canucks had a 4-minute power play. They couldn't get things going. The first power play came and went. It was so quick. The second power play came and went. It was a lot slower, but still they were not able to do much. Of course, you didn't have Quinn Hughes on those two power plays because he was getting stitched up. He was getting patched up. No real contribution from him other than the penalties being called. Thanks, Brandon Hagel, by the way. What a great, amazing player that is. He made Team Canada for a reason, didn't he? But Vancouver absolutely could not capitalize on a power play that had lasted for 4 minutes to open up the game. Quinn Hughes, though, does come back. And eventually, with the fishbowl on his head, he finds himself a way to make it 1-0. It's a really interesting play. Pia Suter plays the puck back over to Hughes on the point, and Hughes scrolls down over to the goal line. Nikita Kucherov ends up taking him. Hughes then circles back over to the top of the faceoff circle, and then he lightly backhands it on goal. Beautiful goal there. It's a confusing play for everybody. Vasilevskiy's caught off guard. Victor Hedman ended up checking Connor Garland for some reason, which opened up the appropriate lane. Canucks just kind of swarming around in the O-zone, and Quinn Hughes capitalizes to make it 1-0 Vancouver. However, in the second period, this is where things fell apart. The Canucks ultimately succumbed to 2 goals in the first 6 minutes of period number 2. The first one was from Nikita Kucherov, who had made his return to the Tampa Bay Lightning lineup in a pretty spectacular fashion. The Lightning just start to cook in the offensive zone. The puck gets thrown out behind the goal. Brayden Point is there. Eventually, it finds itself over to Ryan McDonagh on the left side, who's pinching in, and the Canucks freeze. As McDonagh has the puck on the left face-off circle, all of the Canucks' attention is on McDonagh. The Canucks are clogging the shooting lane, Kevin Lankinen's coming out to challenge, and McDonagh, like the veteran that he is able to say, okay, well, everybody's got my attention. I'm just going to throw it over to the far side, where Nikita Kucherov is by himself, and Kucherov gets it, he shoots it into the open net. It's a 1-1 game. You then had Vincent Desharnais take himself a tripping penalty against that same Brandon Hagel, and guess what? Some lateral movement in the offensive zone. Brayden Point goes over across to Nikita Kucherov. Kucherov to Hedman to Kucherov, back across to Point, who shoots, and he scores. Yeah, Tampa's lateral movement in the offensive zone is unmatched. These guys, Kucherov, Point, Hedman, they can just dance and tango with the puck in the offensive zone. Every pass goes through. Every pass is zipped across. It's so beautiful to watch, unless you're a fan of the defending team. The Canucks just completely let Tampa, for 2 minutes, do what they needed to do to get the lead in this game. And the power play, of course, got going for Tampa with this Brayden Point goal. It continued into the third period, but before that, you actually did see yourselves Vancouver tie the game up to make it 2-2. Praise be to the hockey gods to allow Vancouver to acquire Kiefer Sherwood, who ended up scoring, making it 2-2 in this hockey game. The puck gets chipped in down low. It's picked up there by Ratu. Really nice play to see him swooping down to circle the net with the puck. But Ratu goes over to Tyler Myers on the right side. Myers goes down low himself, then throws it out in front for Kiefer Sherwood. Bang, bang, shitty, bang, bang. You saw the celly there from Chief Keef. Great play, great goal, really nice pass, and a really nice shot there by Kiefer Sherwood right in tight. It's tough to beat Andrei Vasilevskiy from that sort of a distance, but Kiefer Sherwood is able to do so, and ultimately it puts the Vancouver Canucks in a pretty good spot in this game. 2-2 after all, right? However, the game then completely leaves Vancouver's hands. There was a too many men on the ice penalty from the Canucks in the third period. It's Travis Green all over again, baby. And on this too many men on the ice power play, the Canucks succumb the 3-2 game-winning goal. Guess who it is? It's Nikita Kucherov. Oh yeah, it's always him, baby. As Brayden Point goes cross-ice to Kucherov, Kucherov one-touch passes it towards the slot. It goes in off of Jake Guentzel. It's a really interesting, weird deflection. It was kind of airborne, but Jake Guentzel has his 12th goal on the season and gives Tampa Bay the 1-goal lead with 4 minutes to go in the third. Imagine that, a too many men call on the ice penalty being the absolute momentum killer for Vancouver, and eventually Brayden Point got the empty netter afterwards, so Vancouver loses this one 4-2 in a game where they ultimately were their own worst enemies. This was a super disappointing loss because of the way they were not able to really hold on to their momentum and keep things going. You can say equally it was the special teams, both the power plays and the penalty kills, because the Lightning, plain and simple, the Tampa Bay Lightning were 2 for 4 on the man advantage. The Canucks were 0 for 3, including a 4-minute double minor. So you need to take advantage of your opportunities. You need to find ways to get things going, even if you don't have Quinn Hughes for a 4-minute power play out there. Especially when you consider some of the other opportunities that the Vancouver Canucks had in this game. They were slowly chugging along. They were getting some opportunities in the third period. They even had some other ones earlier on in the game before the Tampa Bay Lightning scored to get on the board in the first place. You had a Max Sasson breakaway where he had the chance to make it 2-0 at the beginning of the game. Imagine if Max Sasson makes it 2-0 Vancouver, then what? There's no cross-ice feed over to Nikita Kucherov. There's no Brayden Point power play goal. There's no good momentum for Tampa after that. The Canucks played a pretty bad second, I would say. Everything after the Max Sasson breakaway was terrible for Vancouver in period number 2. In the third, they started to get it back going, but they were not able to capitalize on their momentum, and they took the too many men call, and Tampa Bay scored twice. So very unfortunate game here for the Vancouver Canucks. It is not the outcome you want to see as Tampa takes it to Vancouver and wins 4-2. Early game here, guys, and I think the start time is what really contributed to Thatcher Demko not getting the decision in this one, because you had yourselves an idea floating around that said that the Canucks did not want to put Thatcher Demko through an early game. They wanted to give him a regular 7 p.m. game routine, especially against a team that is a little bit weaker, hopefully, than the Tampa Bay Lightnings of the world, which is why there was no Thatcher Demko suiting up in this one, even though you could have said that this could have been a good chance for the Canucks to get Demmer back in there. However, it is Kevin Lankinen's crease. I honestly did think that he played all right. Like, we didn't really need to see more out of Kevin, and what he was able to provide, he was fine. It's just difficult to block those cross-crease shots and cross-crease backdoor plays and cross-crease. It's all cross-crease with Tampa Bay. No wonder they're double-time champions in 2020 and 2021 and finalists in 2022 as well. They're good. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Canucks losing to a Tampa Bay squad that was rejuvenated with the return of Nikita Kucherov. Thoughts as to how the Canucks played in this one and what they could improve on. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.